Yes? On the window here. On.
Well, good afternoon everybody, welcome to Taronga Zoo and welcome to our Sumatran Tiger exhibit and this afternoon's talk. My name's Ben and I'm a carnivore keeper here at the zoo, so it's part of my job to help look after the carnivores at the zoo, and that includes the Sumatran tigers that we have here. So at the zoo we have a total of 4 Sumatran tigers, and currently on display are 3 of those tigers. So we have a mother, her name is Jamila, she's 11 years old now, and she had a litter of 3, who is the other 3 tigers that we have. So on display we have Jamila with 2 of her cubs, Kambali and Kartika. So of the 3 in her litter, she had 2 males, Sakti and Kambali, and 1 female, her name is Kartika. Now, Jamila, the reason why we only have 3 on display and not 4 is because when Sashi was quite young, he swallowed a bone and that got caught in his intestines. So he had to have some surgery to get that bone removed, and he had to spend a lot of time recovering from that. So because of that extended period of time he spent away from his mother, she actually thought that he had passed away. So they weren't able to be reintroduced back together just because of the time they'd spent apart. Now the tigers at the moment are all quite active, so if you did come here at any other part of the day, you probably had noticed they weren't doing a lot, probably having a little bit of a lie down and a bit of a sleep as well. And that's just what comes naturally to big cats. And if anyone has any cats at home, they'll also know that they like to spend a lot of the day sleeping away. So tigers normally sleep about 16 to 17 hours a day, so that's what they spend the majority of their day doing. So right now, they're all quite active, facing a little bit in front of the window, and that's because they know they're about to be fed. So they get fed normally after the talk at about 2:30, or shortly after that. So they can currently hear their keepers upstairs getting their food ready and preparing their nighttime areas as well. So they know what time it is and they know that they're about to be fed. So that's why they're so active at the moment. So we feed them twice a day. We feed them normally at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at that time we take them all up inside, and we separate them all individually, and we feed them a big part of their diet, so that they get normally about 2 to 3 kilos each. And by feeding them separately, we know that they all get their own fair share of food, and we can also get up nice and close to them and do a bit of a health check on them as well. So in the afternoons, they normally get fed a smaller piece of meat. It's normally about 1 kilo in size, so it's not very big, but we feed them that on exhibit so that everyone can see. So that would get thrown out from one of the top dens, which is just above you, and we'll feed the 3 tigers in front of the windows here. So one on the left-hand side, one right in front of you, and then one just to the right-hand side there as well. So if you want to see that, do hang around until about 2:30 or 5 or 10 minutes after that. So we feed them different types of meat every day, so they get fed a very variety diet. So they'll get fed beef mince, beef, pork, chicken, horse and kangaroo. So today is kangaroo day on Saturday, so they're getting fed a small piece of kangaroo. So we feed them twice a day to take care of them, but we also give them enrichment every day as well. So on this unit we have a 31-day enrichment schedule, and that means that on every given day of the month they get something different. So on today, the 27th, they've got some plastic cup feeders. So there's 3 of those around the exhibit. They're those little green cups with a few holes in it, so we can put some of their food in there. And you can see that they like to also just play with them and destroy them. There's some blue teeth marks in a lot of them there. So they got that. They also got a bit of chicken mince as well. Just kind of throughout the exhibit in a few paper bags. So if you can see any paper bag remains, that's what so chicken mince isn't part of their bulk diet, it's just something a little bit extra for them. They do love to eat, and just something we give them to change up their lives as well. So as you can see, we give them a few toys every day. We can also give them food items. Other things we give them for enrichment are things like Whisker's cat food and Whisker's cat milk as well. They love that as well. And we can also give them some olfactory enrichment, and that's something that smells different. So things like straw or bacon from other animals, if it's or feces, they love to roll around in. Or we can give them some fresh herbs or perfumes and essential oil sprays as well to change up their environment. So sometimes they love it and they'll hang around that area, roll around in it. Other times they might not love it so much, it might smell a bit like a garbage bin to them, but it's just something, again, just something different for them. So, Jamila, who's on display here, who did give birth to the other 2 on display, they're part of an international Sumatran tiger breeding program. And the reason why we have that Sumatran tiger breeding program is because they are a critically endangered species. So there's not very many of them left out there in the wild, only about 300 to 500 of them left. And that's the same number of Sumatran tigers out there in captivity as well. So overall, as a whole population, there's not really many of them left, so they're not doing that well. So there's a few reasons why we are seeing a decrease in Sumatran tiger numbers. One of the biggest reasons is deforestation of their habitats. So they only live on the island of Sumatra, which is in Indonesia, and a lot of the land over there is being cleared to make way for agriculture to produce a product known as palm oil. So if anyone's ever heard of palm oil before, it's a very versatile product which you can find in a lot of your everyday groceries. So things like a lot of processed foods can contain it, and also cosmetics and detergents and soaps. So it can be found in lots of different products. And if you wanted to help Sumatran tigers out there in the wild, you can do that by lessening the demand for sustainable palm oil. And so next time you go grocery shopping, maybe just pick an item or 2 and see, have a look at the ingredients and see if it contains palm oil. And if it does, you might be able to find something that doesn't contain palm oil, it's a supplementary item. Or you can look for products that use certified sustainable palm oil, and you know that it's sustainable by looking for the RSPCO logo. And that's around table palm oil. So on that note, I'll leave the talk there. If anyone has any questions at all about our tigers at the zoo or anything else, feel free to come up and ask me. I'm just up the back here. I'll be here for another 5 minutes. If you want to see the tigers being fed, do hang around for that as well. That'll be another 5 or 10 minutes. If not, do enjoy the rest of your day here at the zoo, and bye for now.